We're pleased to be joined now by fans from coast to coast watching on Sportsnet and Sportsnet 360. Please direct your attention to the video board.
Happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day.
Please welcome to the field the Detroit Tigers and your Toronto Blue Jays. Joining the Blue Jays for Canada Day on the third base line is the Canadian National Junior Team, managed by Greg Hamilton. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, we ask you to please rise and remove your caps and welcome to the field for today's ceremony, the Navy Flag Party from Her Majesty's Canadian ship, York. The Toronto Blue Jays are proud to give their Canadian salute to an officer with over 33 years of service in the Canadian Armed Forces. He started his military career with the Toronto Scottish Regiment and has commanded the province's largest Army Reserve Brigade, prepared soldiers for deployment to Afghanistan, the G20 Summit, and operations in the High Arctic. He is currently the Deputy Commander of Joint Task Force Central and Land Force Central Area. Please welcome Brigadier General Julian Chapman. Presenting the Brigadier General with a team-signed jersey for the Blue Jays is Mark Burley. The Toronto Blue Jays are proud to salute all the brave men and women of the Canadian Forces who serve our country every day. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, with us this afternoon to perform the national anthems is Second Lieutenant Scotty Newlands.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Fans, our Canadian flag is proudly carried by Canadian Armed Forces members from Army, Navy, and Air Force and their families. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command, qu'à ton passé pour élever, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on God for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on God for thee.
Buck is coming on right now, so we might have to repeat that.
Okay. Today, it's a sold-out Rogers Center, and the Detroit Tigers are in town, and there was quite a pregame ceremony. The national anthem sung by Lieutenant Scotty Newlands, and this is a great supercharged atmosphere. Blue Jays have won 6 straight home games. They're anxious to get back to their winning ways, and today they will send R.A. Dickey to the mound. Pat Talbot, Buck Martinez with you here, and Pat, this is a supercharged atmosphere, and the Blue Jays would love to get back on the winning ways here.
It's exciting here this afternoon to see all the red, the sea of red. This started this morning here when we stepped out on the field. There are people everywhere, and you're right. The Blue Jays need to get a winning way. I think they left a sour taste in their mouth from the series back in Boston. Things were looking pretty good. Yesterday's game was tough. Getting R.A. Dickey back on the hill, I think, is important because he was outstanding in his last start.
Well, he sure was. He threw his 5th career complete game, and Dickey will start this series. And last time out against Tampa Bay, he had the best knuckleball we have seen all season long.
Pitching and playing the game of baseball is all about adjustments, and R.A. Dickey made some adjustments in this start right here. He shortened his stride just a little bit, and he felt like it helped him stay on line just a little bit more and keep that knuckleball moving, and it was moving all afternoon. When you stay on line, he said his shoulder and his arm just couldn't catch up to him. He was getting too far out too quickly, and his arm couldn't catch up to him. This helped him stay on line, and it showed in that game down in Tampa.
Well, now let's take a look at that Tigers lineup that Dickey's going to face. Jim Leyland, winning staff manager in baseball. Now it's time for the starting lineups. They're brought to you by Quaker State. Real, durable oil. This is a very formidable lineup the Tigers feature. Austin Jackson, top of the order. Torrey Hunter, then Miguel Cabrera, arguably the best player in baseball. The third baseman's having another terrific start to his season. He's got a 15-game hit streak alive. And look at the numbers. 458 during the 15 games, 7 home runs, and 13 RBIs. Surely one of the best right-handed hitters the game has ever seen, and right behind him, he has terrific protection in Prince Fielder. Against the AL East this season, he's at 309 with 6 homers and 25 RBIs. This is a tough lineup. And don't forget about Victor Martinez right behind Fielder.
Yeah, you can't walk Cabrera to get the Fielder. You're just asking for trouble. R.A. Dickey makes his 18th start of the season's 8th career start versus the Detroit Tigers. Told you about that best start of the season after tossing 2-hit shutout versus the Rays last time out. Big factor in that game for R.A. Dickey. He walked just 1 batter. He was in total command throughout the whole day. You could just tell from the first pitch to the last that he was zeroed in on Josh Toley's catcher's glove. It only took him 93 pitches to throw 9 innings.
This is the first game of the second half of the season, 82nd game of the year. In the outfit, it's Davis, Rasmussen, Bautista from left to right. At third base, Meister Sturs makes his 21st start. Reyes and Kawasaki up the middle. Mark DeRosa starts at first base. Just the second start of the season for DeRosa. And Josh Toley is handling R.A. Dickey for the 6th time this season.
And there's Mark DeRosa over at first base. Second start this year. Hasn't made an error over there. Late scratches for the Blue Jays. Some problems over at first base. No Lynn, no Encarnacion today.
So the Blue Jays really thin, especially on the bench. Encarnacion was in the original lineup. He's been dispatched. Austin Jackson steps in. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. And it's in there for a strike. We are underway.
How about that? First pitch fastball for R.A. Dickey.
There's a liner right to Kawasaki. Jackson's retired, 1 down.
Lead him off with a fastball, then you throw the knuckleball, that classic inside-out swing by Jackson. Right where Kawasaki is standing for the first down.
Kawasaki starting for the second time at second base. He was there yesterday in Boston. Torrey Hunter, the veteran, takes one upstairs. Boy, Hunter's been a great addition to this lineup. 297 average for the season. Hunter actually called the Tigers first during his free agency. Picked up the phone and says, I want to be part of this ball club. He thinks they have a great chance to go to the World Series.
We talked about that the last time we saw the Tigers. Probably a perfect fit. Torrey Hunter for the Detroit Tigers. They are looking for an outfielder. They are looking for a guy to hit second in front of the big boys, and it was just a perfect fit.
Plus, he fits right into that professional attitude the Tigers present every day. Hunter fouls it off, stays alive. Great crowd on hand to watch R.A. Dickey open up this homestand. It'll be 7 games, and you can see it's a sold-out Rogers Center. There's that slow knuckleball. Better stay with it. You never know when it gets that spin. It might sneak back into fair ground.
That's something that we have seen from Dickey over his last couple of starts, really changing speed with his knuckleball. He's got the firm one that he likes to throw with 2 strikes. Every now and then, he'll throw that one where he takes about 5 or 6 miles per hour off.
Little tapper back to the mound. Dickey takes his time. 2 outs. And with 2 outs, this is how you want to face Miguel Cabrera. 2 outs and nobody on.
Yep. The guy hits great with runners in scoring position. Look at those crazy numbers. 373, 25, and 82, and it's the first day of July. You just cannot get him out of his approach at the plate.
Takes that fastball by him, and look at the 85 miles an hour, a little better velocity.
And did you see Cabrera stare out at Dickey after that first pitch fastball?
On the ground, Reyes got that great arm. Easy inning for R.A. Dickey. Retires the Tigers on just 10 pitches. When we come back, it's Jose Reyes, Rajai Davis, Jose Bautista. Happy Canada Day, everybody. Davis, Jose Bautista moved down into the 3rd spot. We mentioned Encarnacion was there initially. He's been scratched early on. Rajai Davis has been red hot. Over his last 20 games, he's got a 386 average, and Jose Bautista, his numbers against Detroit are impressive, including 5 home runs. Jose Alvarez making his 4th big league start, working out of the stretch. Reyes takes one down and in. Reyes starting to get his timing. Hit a home run in the 7th. Yesterday in Boston. Pops this from back over the screen.
Starting to get the extra base pop, too, from the right side. Jose Alvarez. There are his numbers. He's been filling in for the injured Anibal Sanchez, making his 4th career start. Allowed 4 earned runs his last time out. That was the first time that he got over the 100 pitch count. And it was also his first career loss.
2-1. Reyes off the end of the bat. Johnny Peralta behind Suckett in time. 1 out. Let's take a look at the defense behind Jose Alvarez. In the outfield, it's Andy Dirks, Austin Jackson in center, and the 9-time Gold Glover. Torrey Hunter is in right. Miguel Cabrera and Johnny Peralta on the left side. Omar Infante and Prince Fielder on the right side. And Brian Pena is behind the plate to handle Jose Alvarez.
And Torrey Hunter just keeps on rolling. You mentioned the 9 Gold Gloves. He also leads the team again in outfield assists with 6.
Rajay Davis moved up into the 2 spot. He was 8 for 21 on the road trip and had 5 stolen bases.
It's just a natural movement after the scratch by Encarnacion. Get some speed up at the top of the lineup. Rajay has really handled lefties this year. More opportunities for RBIs for Bautista.
Alvarez works quickly. He's 24 years old, originally signed with the Red Sox. Last year, he spent the entire season in Double-A in the Florida Marlins organization. Bautista standing on deck. Boy, don't you love a pitcher that works quickly?
Yep. Get the ball, go. Fastball is just about 92 miles an hour. Curve and a changeup. A little bit deception with the changeup.
Popped up. Johnny Peralta at short makes the catch. Jose Bautista homered with 1 out in the 9th.
Jose was telling us today that he felt like he was pulling off balls earlier, but now he's finally got his timing down. He's got the front foot down, keeping the front shoulder in there. And the results speak for themselves.
That home run tied up the game. It was the 4th time Bautista's hit a game-time home run in the 9th inning or later this season. No other player has more than 1.
4th time this year that he's tied a game up in the 9th inning.
His home run against Addison Reed in Chicago started that 11-game win streak. Ball and a strike, 2 outs. Blue Jays, of course, getting their first look at Jose Alvarez. He's got a good curveball and a very good changeup. He got Reyes on a changeup to ground out to short.
Yeah, you got Rajay with that changeup also out in front. He does a good job of keeping hitters off balance. Jose not happy with that strike call by home plate umpire Hunter Wendelstedt.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Interesting, we had that conversation with Bautista early on, and he suggested he was just too much on the backside, and that created a lot of rotational movement and caused his head to move, and he lost track of the ball.
And that's timing issues. You know, when you're speeding yourself up, slows everything down.
Ripped down the left side. That's a fair ball and bounces into the seats for a ground rule double. Don't look now, folks, but Bautista's starting to heat up.
How about Jose, when you talk about guys in their timing, watch how he hits this pitch. It's a breaking ball, how he stays back, keeps the hands back, let it break and let the ball come to him, and then go out and swing and hit it. He was hitting line drives. His 2 best swings yesterday were probably 2 balls he hit the center field for singles.
He is now 6 for his last 10. Mark DeRosa makes a first pitch strike. DeRosa, as we mentioned, playing first base just for the 2nd time this season. On the ground, another changeup. Peralta gobbles it up. The inning is over. Blue Jays leave a base runner. We've played 1 on this Canada Day. It's a scoreless game. IndyCar driver Alex Tagliani threw out the first pitch, and later on he'll be competing in the Honda IndyCar race later on this month, and he throws that first pitch. He'll strike to Mark Burley. Great opportunity for Tagliani to throw out the first pitch here on Canada Day, and Canada Day is presented by Honda. And what a great atmosphere it is. These people are supercharged this afternoon. Prince Fielder, well, you talk about putting on a show. During batting practice, Prince Fielder hit a number of balls into the fifth deck, and he was putting on quite a show for the fans.
They opened up the gates early today. The fans started pouring in, and this place was packed when the Tigers hit this morning. And you're right, he must have hit a dozen balls into the fifth deck. Each one further than the next, and each one drawing the oohs and ahs of the crowd.
Yeah, it literally looked like Fielder during an all-star home run contest. I mean, that's how far he was hitting them and how consistently he hit them into the seats. Hits this one into the air. Ajay Davis comes in from left field. He gets there, and that's the first down of the top of the second.
Canada Day Blue Jays baseball on Sportsnet, presented by the 2013 Honda Civic, Canada's best-selling car 15 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
What a great atmosphere here at Rogers Center, and it has been like this since early this morning as the fans gathered outside Rogers Center. Victor Martinez, the switch-hitting DH.
This is one of the hitters right here that the Tigers are hoping he starts to get hot. Just a 230 average for Victor. He's driven in 40 runs, but he's a much better hitter than that 230 average.
Well, the 40 RBI is a result of Miguel Cabrera with 119 hits. Cabrera gets on base just about twice a game. Dickey misses inside. It's 2 balls and a strike.
He's a perfect type of hitter to hit behind Cabrera in fielder. Switch hitter, a guy who makes contact, and a good RBI guy. He's always been a good RBI man in his career.
Miguel Cabrera grounded out to short his first time. Swing and a miss. Toley keeps it in front, puts the tag on Martinez. That's the first strikeout of the afternoon for R.A. Dickey.
That knuckleball was really hard. You can see the grip and watch no rotation in the movement right at the end. So tough for a hitter to pick that one up. But that's 78 miles an hour. That's not the speed that we saw earlier in the year from Dickey. Hints that he might be getting healthier.
Johnny Peralta. First pitch fastball for a strike, and we really have to point out that fastball's 85 miles an hour. Early in the season it was 80, 81, and there's the slow knuckleball.
And you say, well, what's the big difference? 2 or 3 miles an hour. It makes a difference when you're facing a guy who's got that type of knuckleball.
Popped up over near the seats. DeRosa over at the rail. It's way out of play, about 10 rows back. Dickey entering this game 7-8. This is his 18th start of the season. 1-2 to Peralta. Hits this ball hard. Rasmus on the run. He'll get there. He runs it down. R.A. Dickey retires the first 6 he faces this afternoon. Colby Rasmus will lead things off. Then the DH, J.P. Arencibia. Meiser is Sturris to follow.
on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Jose Alvarez delivers a first pitch strike to Colby Rasmus. Looks like Alvarez went to the Mark Burley School of Pitching.
And we like that.
Oh, we love that. I tell you what, you know who loves it? The Tigers defenders.
And we're talking about he runs out to the mound when the last out is made. He gets his warm-up pitches in quickly. Wants to work quickly. He must have been watching Mark Burley.
Another changeup. He's got a good changeup, boy. We've seen that early on.
When he left AAA International League this year, and it's just his third start. In that International League, he was ranked second with 84 strikeouts. Again, doesn't throw very hard, a lot of breaking balls, and a good changeup.
Full count. Yeah, he recorded those 84 strikeouts in 81 innings and had allowed just 67 hits.
And you'll see that in the minor leagues when a guy can control his breaking ball like that and control his changeup. You'll see that in the minors.
Rasmus caught looking at a fastball. He sneaks that fastball and catches the outside corner.
That is just a lack of information right there, not really knowing what Alvarez likes to throw in certain situations. He crosses up Colby Rasmus there with a fastball on the on the outer half for his first strikeout.
J.P. Arencibia.
What players will do first time through, they'll go back and they'll start telling the guys hitting behind them, facing them the first time, hey, this guy reminds me of Hector Santiago of the Chicago White Sox. Same type of movement. Or Jose Quintana, another left-hander. And then you can start forming a game plan.
Arencibia going to have to form a game plan very quickly. It's 0-2.
A couple of change-ups. He swings right through him. Here's another one, just 76 miles an hour.
Well, you did a good job in identifying a couple of pitchers that pitch much like Alvarez. What does it do to a hitter when a pitcher works so quickly?
Puts the pressure on you. And I think you have to step out and just get the timing. It's almost like they're rushing you along. And as a hitter, you want to slow things down. Look at that. A couple of changeups, 3 of them to start that at bat. And then with 2 strikes, he slips another fastball right by Arencibia for the strikeout. You say, okay, how can he not hit this? It's right down the middle. But if you're sitting on another pitch and he crosses you up and it's 10 miles per hour faster, it just locks you up.
Meister Asturias falls behind 0-1. There's a little looper that's going to get down for a base hit. Asturias just stayed back and served that ball into center field. First hit of the inning with 2 outs.
Hitters will be wise to watch the approach of Asturias and Bautista. A couple of hot hitters for Toronto. They did not overcommit in their at-bats, and both of them picked up base hits.
Josh Thole takes ball 1. Thole had the misfortune of being at first base in the bottom of the 9th, and he committed the error on the Shane Victorino ground ball that allowed the Red Sox to win it. He had to come into the ball game defensively in the 3rd inning when Adam Lind had his back tightened up. Lind had to come out of the game. Just the 2nd appearance for Thole at first base this year. Thole with a 3-0 count. Interesting that Alvarez would fall behind the left-handed hitter as many strikes as he's thrown early. There's his strength. Left-handers didn't fare well at all against Alvarez in AAA. They were just 10 for 71. That's a 141 batting average. Thole takes the 2-out walk.
The second baseman, number 66, Munenori Kawasaki.
Munenori Kawasaki gets a great welcome here at Rogers Center. He was sent out during the Tampa Bay series in St. Petersburg and then recalled when Melky Cabrera was injured. They called him for a balk. He double clutched when he got the sign, and the runners will move up 90 feet.
First runner gets the second base, so they're going to go through a series of signs right here. Yeah, you can see he flinched right there. He forgot, hey, I'm using the second sign. You got to let him finish his sequence right there before you go to your stretch.
Second and third. 2 outs for Kawasaki. Base hit, left field. Esteuras is in. Tolley's getting the stop sign. He ran right through it, and he is out at home plate. Josh Thole ran through the stop sign, but Kawasaki has given the Blue Jays a 1-0 lead. Great day here at Rogers Center. And today, it's the debut of Sportsnet 360, where you can check out a new post-game show called Blue Jays Express. For more, here's Eric Smith. Back at Rogers Center. Drives in the first run of the ball game.
Now watch the base runner. Esteuras is from third, going to score. Now Louis Rivera says, go, 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 and then stop. What he's doing, he's watching the outfielder. He's trying to get a read if he fields the ball cleanly. He's saying, yeah, come on, let's go, but then throws up his stop sign right there. Josh Thole runs right through it, and Dirks picks up his 6th outfield assist.
So Thole is thrown out at the plate to end the inning. R.A. Dickey staked to a 1-0 lead. There's a first pitch strike to Omar Infante. Infante, the second baseman, another good offensive season for Infante. Boy, he is consistent.
Yeah. He mixes in quite nicely with his team. He's a lot like Martin Prado over in the National League, if you're familiar with him. He can play different positions if he has to. He puts the bat on the ball. Just a pro, shows up every day and does a good job.
Infante was originally signed by the Tigers, and then he went from the Tigers to the Cubs for Jock Jones back in 2007. There's a base hit sharply through the left side of the infield. A leadoff single for Infante.
Canada Day Blue Jays baseball on Sportsnet. Presented by the 2013 Honda Civic, Canada's best-selling car 15 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Andy Dirks goes after the first pitch. DeRosa goes to second for one. No return throw. Reyes wisely held on to it at second. They get the lead runner. And Dirks will reach on the fielder's choice. DeRosa looked very comfortable coming after that high bouncing ball.
No, he's an athlete. He was a football player in college. He can play all over the diamond if you need him to. And they were not going to turn two on this one. What I'm seeing right now from the Tigers, if you're a Blue Jays fan, Dickey's getting them in swing mode against that knuckleball, and that's a good thing.
Switch hitting catcher Brian Pena, batting .295 for the season.
I tell you, when you get teams swinging early in the count against that knuckleball, you're going to have the type of games like Dickey had last time versus Tampa Bay. Just 93 pitches, complete game, a lot of easy outs.
And he's been able to throw strikes, and that makes the hitters think about swinging. Another good knuckleball. Josh Thole did a great job with Dickey last time out against the Rays. As we mentioned, Dickey had the best knuckleball we had seen all season long, and Thole caught just about every one of them.
Yeah, a couple days later, he still didn't know how he caught that one knuckleball against, I think it was Luke Scott. The ball was moving all over the place. He was able to catch it and keep a runner from moving up.
Dickey's well aware that Dirks will run. He is 6 for 6 in stolen base attempts this season. And that's always part of the offensive philosophy against Dickey. If you can get on, see if you can make it. And Dickey's very good at neutralizing the game. He's quick to first.
You know what the Tigers will do when it comes to running, they don't run that much. They've only had 23 stolen bases this whole season. It's the bottom of the lineup that's going to run. Peralta and Infante and Dirks. Top of the lineup, you're not going to be running because you don't want to take the bat out of the big boppers in the middle of the lineup.
Well, just when we talk about Thole handling all those tough knuckleballs, he had a nasty one get away from him, and Dirks moves up to second on the wild pitch.
Knuckleball, you can see the grip. Here it comes towards the plate, and look at it start to dive away from him. That will probably be the toughest pitch right there to catch because you have to backhand it.
3-1 to Pena. He cuts on it. Thole gets a glove on it and keeps it close enough to hold Dirks at second. Tell you what, this is no fun for a catcher, believe me. It's a challenge, and when Dickey's got it working as he does today, boy, Thole's going to have to be on his toes.
Yeah, he says he just likes to relax back there and just receive the ball. Don't go out there and try and catch it. Just receive it. You can see how comfortable he is behind the plate.
And he takes the walk. 2 aboard with 1 out. Fans, it's time now for our BlackBerry Sneak Peek Stat of the Game, brought to you by the new BlackBerry Z10 and Q10, built to keep you moving.
I think the fastball for R.A. Dickey is an important pitch for him because he has to be able to throw that over and give the hitter something else to think about. Opponent's average this year, 314 off the fastball. What was it last year? 319. But the knuckleball just 238. But you still have to mix it in. If you go out there and just keep throwing knuckleball after knuckleball, I think you're just going to work your way into some trouble.
Dickey gets ahead of Austin Jackson. Jackson lined out to second base first time up. Comes into this ball game as a .383 career hitter against the Blue Jays. There's that slow knuckleball, just 66 miles an hour, and it catches the inside corner.
Yeah, contrast that to the hard knuckleball, about 12 miles per hour faster. That's where you really upset the timing of a batter.
Cut on and miss. Jackson strikes out.
How about 14 miles per hour more? That was 80 miles an hour, that knuckleball. There it is right there. Not a lot of time for a batter to recognize that. And watch it. Knuckleball's been much better his last couple times out.
Torrey Hunter with 2 outs and 2 on. Dickey got a piece of it. Kawasaki will step on the bag. R.A. Dickey might have saved himself a run. He waved at it, slowed it down. Kawasaki stepped on the bag. Jose Reyes will start things off for the Jays in the 3rd. And Rajay Davis and Bautista, he's already got a double today. Let's make them both starters for the American League All-Star team. On Twitter, use the hashtag ReelectJose and hashtag VoteEdWing. Fans are allowed to vote a maximum of 25 times per email address. Voting ends at midnight on the 4th of July. Vote early, vote often. Vote at BlueJays.com.
Buck, even we got our Ed Wing and Jose Reelect. I'm going to start wearing this around town right here.
Okay,
Everybody fired up. What do you think?
See if I can get a picture of you wearing that around town.
I might go to dinner in mine tonight.
Jose Reyes grounded out to shortstop. His first time up. Blue Jays have a little more information. Second time through the order. They scored a run on 2 hits and had a runner thrown out at the plate in the second. Reyes high and deep to left and gone.
Starting to get his timing down, starting to get some pop from the right side. And Reyes learned something from his first at-bat. He grounded out on a changeup his first time up. When Alvarez went back to the changeup, Jose was sitting on it. He was waiting for it, and he crushed it. Here it comes, changeup. There it is, just floating up, trying to get the ball away. And see how he stayed back on it this time.
Homered in Boston yesterday, and he homers here in the 3rd inning. 2-0 Blue Jays, and Reyes, boy, if he can start timing up the off-speed pitches, he's liable to go off. Rajay Davis. Davis popped up to the shortstop. Reyes is a spark plug. There's no question about it. Certainly has the crowd here at Rogers Center a buzz. And it's a sold-out crowd. Canada Day is presented by Honda. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Rajay Davis. Base hit for Davis. He's thinking about 2. Good turnaround first. Dirks' throw is not in time. Rajay Davis, a stand-up double, his 6th of the season.
Thought it was a natural to move him in there when Encarnacion could not go today because of that hamstring problem. Move Rajay up against the left-hander. He's been swinging a hot bat, and he can do this. Hit a ball down the left field line. It's cut off by Dirks, but with that great speed, he had no chance of getting him at second base. And with that great speed, that time of breaking ball, he's thinking too, as soon as he hits that, with that great speed, even Jose swinging a hot bat, you could try and steal. Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Davis is 19 for 21 in steals. Jose Bautista doubled down the left field line his first time up, and Alvarez going to keep an eye on Rajay Davis. Second time through the order, a home run and a double.
And it's their approaches at the plate. You could see that they were looking for the changeup and off-speed pitch that time from Alvarez. Reyes did, and you can see Rajay, he took a fastball right down the middle because he was looking for an off-speed pitch.
Bautista has gone 6 for his last 10. He looks dangerous again. That foot stepping straight toward the pitcher. He was winding up a little too much, conscious of trying to hit a home run.
And the swing becomes a little bit longer then. I can't believe that they would even give him a strike the rest of the day after he doubled last time up.
Yeah, without Edwin Encarnacion batting behind him, and
that's no knock on Mark DeRosa.
No, it's just the fact that Bautista's hot and DeRosa has limited at bats. I'm going to make a throw to second. Davis is in safely. You got to believe Bautista's got the green light.
Yeah, might be the only strike he sees, but I can't believe he'd challenge him.
Threw him a changeup. It's really no changeup, and Rajay Davis steals it on the catcher. Davis saw the lob back to the mound and took advantage of it.
Well, also think the third baseman, Cabrera, is playing deep, respecting the power of Jose Bautista. Here's the pitch, 3-0. Watch Rajay. Lob, see ya.
No chance.
No chance. What a heads-up play.
Bautista takes ball 4. Go back and look at the home run by Jose Reyes. And he crushed it, looking for a changeup and got it.
Well, his approach was outstanding. They got him his first time out, the changeup, and he grounded out towards the shortstop. This time, it's filtered through the Blue Jays' first time through. This guy likes to throw a lot of changeups. They've made the adjustment. Good at bat by Reyes. And saw flair and excitement at the end of it.
Reyes has hit a career-high 19 home runs. That came in 2006. He is really strong. He's not a slugger by any means, but boy, when that bat gets flying through the zone, he can put a charge in.
Wiry strong. I think that's what we call it in baseball. Wiry, but he's got tremendous bat speed.
Davis' stolen base of third is the 70th time he's stolen third base. Mark DeRosa, he's got a golden opportunity to pick up a run here for sure with runners at the corners and nobody out. DeRosa was hit by a neck problem yesterday. He got a bulging disc in his neck, and he was unavailable early in the ballgame. But he received treatment, and then it loosened up. Here he drives the ball down the right side, but that'll get down on the warning track.
Heard it yesterday in the batting cage. Blue Jays did not hit on the field yesterday. They hit in the cage, and he felt it. For the first 5 innings, they worked on it. Some skin work. It loosened up, and he was available towards the end of the game yesterday, but Blue Jays elected not to use him. Says he's fine now.
1-2, nobody out. Another changeup, and DeRosa strikes out. Fans, if you want your baseball questions answered by our team of experts, email asktheexperts@sportsnet.ca. Keep your eye out for the Home Hardware Ask the Expert segment later on in the game. Boy, that center field 200 level has become very popular, and it's a packed house this afternoon. Everybody taking part of this Canada Day.
They were there at 11 o'clock this morning. Packed house. Getting ready for this afternoon's game.
Colby Erasmus took a called third strike back in the second. One out. 2-0. .24-year-old Jose Alvarez in a bit of a jam early. .3-0.
How about that? 2-0 changeup. A couple of fastballs and then a changeup. You know the Blue Jays are sitting over there. They're checking that out.
Ball four, the bases are loaded. Second walk in the inning, third of the game. J.P. Arencibia. And Jeff Jones is going to get on the phone, and Jim Leyland tells his infield they're going to play for 2. Mike Rojas is the bullpen coach. He'll get somebody throwing. Arencibia takes strike one. JP had the bases loaded yesterday at Fenway Park in the 6th inning with nobody out and popped up to short. Oh, 0-1. Base hit. Davis is in to score. Bautista's being waved home. Here's the throw from Dirks. It hits Bautista in the helmet and he tags home. And 2 runs score. Bautista and Pena having a conversation about Pena blocking home plate. But the ball hit Bautista on the top of the helmet. Arencibia picks up 2 RBIs, and the Blue Jays have taken a 4-0 lead.
Looked like a carbon copy of the end of the 2nd inning. Base hit to left field. Dirk comes up firing, and that's a good throw right there. 1 hop, but it's too high. It hits Bautista. He goes back, touches the plate. He scores, and the runners move up. Now the infield has to come in. Meiser Sturis goes after the first pitch. Take a look at it one more time. Here comes Bautista. Pena blocking the plate, but it hits him in the helmet, and he hits his foot right there. I think that's what they were talking about right there.
So the infield is drawn in. Is Sturis. Way out in front of that changeup. You can see the Tiger infield trying to save a run at the plate. Arencibia is credited with a single to left. Picks up 2 RBIs. Dirks is charged with an error on the throw. This ball is driven into center. Jackson back. Rasmus tags at third. Arencibia holds at second. Is Sturis with the sac fly. It's a 5-0 Blue Jays lead.
Got to take advantage of what the opposition's going to give you. The error sends the runner from second to third with less than 2 outs, and Sturis cashes them with the sacrifice fly.
19th RBI of the season for Sturis. Still a runner in scoring position. Arencibia at second base for Josh Thole. Totally walked his first time up. He had a good rip at that hanging breaking ball.
That was a hanger. Slider. That was up.
The second time through the order, the Blue Jay hitters had a little more information on Jose Alvarez, and they have jumped all over him.
Yeah, their approach this inning has been outstanding.
Off the plate outside. He reaches for it and fouls it into the seats. And Sturz, boy, he's come up with some big at-bats recently. Drives home a run with the sac fly. Foley takes a close one.
Alvarez strikes me as a guy who has to be almost perfect to be able to get guys out. Use your changeup, get your breaking ball over. Right now, he's not throwing it for a strike, and he's not putting his fastball where it needs to be.
Foley pops this one down the left side into the seats.
And the Blue Jays are having good at bats.
Blue Jays have played very well here lately. They've won 10 of their last 12 home games, including 6 straight. They had a clean sweep of their last homestand against Colorado and Baltimore. Strike 3 called. Totally caught looking at a fastball, but the Blue Jays send 8 men to the plate, score 4 runs on 3 hits, and have given R.A. Dickey a 5-0 lead. And we thought it was a great opportunity to show you who the big home run boppers are, and we've got 3 of the 4 top home run hitters from 2010 into this season. Jose Bautista leads the pack with 143. Then Miguel Cabrera, Albert Pujols, and Prince Fielder. Boy, there are some thumpers in this ball game this afternoon.
Yeah, come out to Rogers Center over the next couple of days. Watch batting practice. You'll be thrilled. Stick around for the ball game, and I think they'll thrill you even more. What's impressive about that list, Bautista's average isn't where it should be or normally is, but the other guys, the power hitters, they got great averages. Look at Miguel Cabrera, 372. Are you kidding me?
Well, we mentioned he has 118 hits so far this season. That's the most by a Tigers player through 80 games since Al Kaline had 121 in 1955. I mean, he is smashing all types of records for hits and RBIs. He's also the leader in RBIs in the majors with 82. and 82 RBIs through the first 80 games. Only Hank Greenberg, the Hall of Famer, has collected more RBIs than Cabrera through 80 games.
And everyone was wondering how he was going to follow up a Triple Crown season. Well, you know what? He's better.
Well, oftentimes hitters will think that they have to make adjustments because everybody knows what they're hitting. Cabrera is going to make the pitchers make the adjustments.
And he's smart, too. He is a smart hitter. Talent and smarts, that's where you're going to put up those type of numbers. Never deviates from what he's trying to do at the plate.
2-2.
Trying to shoot that ball to right field.
And Dickey strikes him out. RA's got 3 strikeouts so far.
The 2013 Honda Civic, Canada's best-selling car 15 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Prince Fielder. Another first pitch swing induced by R.A. Dickey. He's around the zone, so the Tiger hitters are going up there hacking. Look at Miguel Cabrera after the strikeout to start the inning. Watch his reaction toward Dickey.
Yep. Okay. Good pitch. All right. Throw that to me again later on. You can see he's saying that's a good pitch. It's almost like an acknowledgement that you were better than me on that one.
Well, he's a good player. Just 30 years old. Came up early on, 19 years old with the Florida Marlins. The other fouls it back. Of course, everybody knows it's been well documented. He had a lot of off-field issues with the Tigers. He's straightened those out. He is one terrific teammate. He's always there to help his teammates out, to break down a pitcher, to talk about hitting, anything they want to talk about. He is there for them. 1-2.
And the guy sitting right next to him, he's taking him under his wing, and he looks just like Cabrera.
Avisail Garcia, a young outfielder from Venezuela, came up last year from Double-A, played in the postseason, and Cabrera certainly took him under his wing.
Just 22 years old, Garcia. 6'4", 230 pounds.
And he can play.
And he can play. Hey, look at him talking about hitting. He's going to be there for him. That's how you pass the baton right there to the next generation.
2-2 to Fielder. High and deep to right. Bautista looking up. Home run, Prince Fielder. The Tigers are on the board. Number 14 for Fielder.
Good at bat right there by Prince Fielder against R.A. Dickey's knuckleball. Kept fouling him off until he got one that just is tumbling. Not a lot of movement there. We told you he had a great round of batting practice. And he hits a home run here to get the Tigers on the board.
That's the 18th home run allowed by R.A. Dickey. But that's what will happen. That knuckleball comes in there with no rotation, and if hitters can square it up, it'll fly. Victor Martinez hits one down the right field line. Martinez turning towards second. Bautista's got to play it off the wall in the corner, and Victor Martinez has a one-out double, his 14th double of the season. R.A. Dickey, we mentioned, he's now allowed 18 home runs, and you can see that R.A. Dickey, when he's had runners on this season, has had a bit of a problem. None on his 248 average, but those are his numbers last year from the Cy Young season when he won the National League Cy Young Award.
This is by situation. Last year he did a much better job hitting with, or pitching with runners in scoring position and runners in scoring position with 2 outs. just made the pitches. This year hasn't been that way, but you can see over his last couple of starts, he's turned the corner, I think.
Johnny Peralta, the shortstop, takes one down and away. It's 2-0. Peralta really got himself in great shape in the off season. Trimmed down, got his quickness back in the field, but certainly it freed him up at the plate as well. And he's had a great first half to his season. Peralta leads all American League shortstops with 89 hits and 21 doubles. So you add his bat, it just lengthens the Tigers lineup. Tom Brookins, the third base coach, had to jump out of the way. Brookins in his first year over at third base. He's been the first base coach for the last few years, and now he's slid across the diamond. Dickey set with a 2-2 pitch. On the ground, Izturis waits for the big hop in plenty of time. 2 outs. Omar Infante got the first Tiger hit of the afternoon, a leadoff single in the third. Dickey had retired the Tigers in order in the first and the second. Victor Martinez at second base. He hit the double down in the right field corner. Omar Infante drives it down the left field line. That's a fair ball. It bounces out of play. It's a ground rule double, and Victor Martinez comes in to score. It's a 5-2 Blue Jays lead.
That's why Infante is such an underrated player. Comes up with a 2-out hit. There's another tumbling knuckleball. You can see the rotation on that, spinning forward. Infante waits back on it, hits it hard, and will end up at second base after the ground rule double.
Yeah, the tumbling knuckleball is the last thing Dickey wants. He wants that knuckleball to float with not many rotations between the mound and home plate.
Well, one of the things he did his last start, his knuckleball was moving sideways. He was throwing it to the Evan Longorias and some of the other right-handers, Will Myers from the Tampa Bay Rays, and it was moving sideways away from him. That's where you know you're good, when you can make it move like that and still throw it in the strike zone.
Dickey on the comebacker ends the inning. He throws out Dirks, but the Tigers get on the board. Prince Fielder with a home run, and Omar Infante an RBI double. The Jays still have a 3-run lead. At 360, formerly known as The Score, debuts Blue Jays Express. It's a 30-minute interactive post-game show hosted by Eric Smith with former Blue Jays Paul Spaljarek and Greg O'Halloran. They provide the analysis of today's game, so make sure you check out Blue Jays Express only on Sportsnet 360. Jose Alvarez is out of the ball game. Luke Pucconen is the new pitcher. The big right-hander comes in to start the fourth.
Got a good arm. Pucconen, good fastball, mid to low 90s with good life to it, a curveball, and he's also got a split finger fastball. He'll use it as a changeup. Lefties have hit 333 against him. Righties just 161. Had his contract recalled from Toledo prior to the game back on May the 21st, and now works out of the bullpen for the Tigers.
Munenori Kawasaki drove in the first run for the Blue Jays, back in the second. He delivered a 2-out base hit to left field. The drive home, Meiser Asturias. Josh Tolley was thrown out at the plate to end the inning. Ball and a strike. Blue Jays are going to have to switch gears now. Certainly we know what the fans think of Munenori Kawasaki. They love him. Shows bunt, takes a strike.
There's the big curveball right there. Those gears you were talking about is just keep adding on runs when you can. Try and take advantage of the bullpen right here, knocking a starter out early. You know the offense from the Tigers are going to play right to the end. They're going to be there. So just keep adding on runs if you can.
Canada Day. Those beautiful Blue Jays red jerseys are always emblematic of Canada Day. Ball is chopped towards second. Big hop for Infante. He throws the fielder. That's the first time. So the leadoff man, Jose Reyes, will step to the plate. Last time up as a right-handed hitter against Jose Alvarez. He went deep. His third home run of the season. Blue Jays, second time they faced Alvarez, jumped all over him. Reyes goes after the first pitch and hits it to left field. Should be an easy play for Dirks, and it is. Pucconen has 2 quick outs here in the fourth.
First time through, they had to adjust to see what Jose Alvarez had, and then they knocked him out of the game second time through. Same thing here now with Luke Pucconen. They haven't faced him all that much, and now they've got to see what he features.
Rajay Davis doubled and scored in the third. He had a terrific stolen base of third. He stole it on the catcher. Brian Pena lobbed it back to the pitcher, and Davis stole third.
That's just paying attention right there. Just watching the game. Notice that the catcher is flipping it back to the pitcher on a lob, and he timed it perfectly.
Remember when your Little League coach used to tell you about that?
Yep.
When you were running at third base, if the catcher lobs it back, the coach would say, "You can steal home." 1-1 to Davis. He's got another base hit. Stay hot, Rajay. The National Junior Baseball team is here, and it's managed by Greg O'Halloran. Excuse me, it's Greg Hamilton. And before the game, that's Chris Rietsma, former Major League pitcher, who's the pitching coach for Team Canada, visiting with his former teammate, Mark DeRosa.
I got a kick out of this right here. Look at those young players just staring at Bautista and Reyes and the rest of the Blue Jays as they got ready for this afternoon's game. You know, you remember back when you were a teenager like that, you couldn't wait, or you just wished you could have been out there playing.
Step on the field. Adam Stern is a coach for the team. Chris Rietsma is the pitching coach, and Jason Dixon, he too is a coach, a former Major League pitcher.
What a thrill, though, for those kids to be here on this day, watching the Blue Jays and up close.
Yeah, it's a terrific opportunity for him to step on Rogers' center field again. Rajai Davis already has a stolen base today, and he is inching off. Davis picked up his 20th steal in the third. One to Bautista. Bautista has doubled and walked. He scored a run in the third. Bautista seeing the ball very well.
Yeah, laying off that splitter right there from Pucona. You know he's seeing the ball. He's looking for something inside right now.
Well, that's the first thing that you have to do if you're going to start swinging the bat well, is got to pick up the baseball. Full count, 2 outs. Davis is on the move, and there's the throw to second. Two and 2 was the count. Davis picks up the stolen base.
Had a good time to run right there. You know that the pitcher is going to go for the strikeout. He throws another breaking ball. Rajai with that great quickness to get him started. And he almost, I think that spike stayed on the base. He almost overslid the bag.
Now it's a full count. Bautista fouls it off the catcher.
Well, there's what you were just talking about, seeing the ball right there. 3-2 curveball, and Jose was all over it.
With 2 steals today, Rajai Davis has moved into the 3rd spot in the American League behind Ellsbury and Nate McLeod. Bautista takes ball 4 in the dirt. Bautista's at first, Davis at second. Blue Jays have a 5-2 lead. Mark DeRosa has grounded out and struck out. First pitch strike. Pucona's got a good arm. That's 95. You factor that in with a good split finger pitch. That's a pretty good combination.
12-6 curveball also. You see Pena going out to give the signs just in case the runners decide to steal. That sign is probably, hey, we'll get the guy at second base. No chance of getting Davis at third. But Bautista over at first base, he's aware of that. Look at the lead and look at the lead off. He is facing and he's keeping his eye on Rajai. If he takes off, he'll be able to steal second base easily.
And Tigers are on high alert with Davis at second. Bautista, he is locked in on Rajai Davis. If Davis breaks, he's got to go because Bautista is going to follow him.
That happened in Boston where that back runner didn't run.
There they go. DeRosa drives it to right and deep. Torrey Hunter looking up. Home run, Mark DeRosa.
With that home run by Mark DeRosa, he now has more RBIs than hits this year. Speed on the bases buys him a fastball, and he doesn't miss it. Fastball down the middle, and DeRosa powers it into the bullpen in right field for 3 big runs. How about this 2-out lightning?
The stolen base, just the threat of it, a distraction in Rajay Davis. And man, we got you a fastball. And DeRosa said, and I hit it.
And hit it hard.
Home run number 5 for Mark DeRosa. Colby Erasmus behind 0-2. Boy, Davis makes things happen when he gets on base. He's 2 for 3. He's scored 2 runs. He has 2 steals.
Good move. Moving him up in the batting order with his hot bat and his speed on the bases. Maybe you get a fastball for your RBI guys.
Colby Erasmus swings right through the fastball. The inning comes to an end, but the Blue Jays have scored 3 in the bottom of the 4th. They've taken an 8-2 lead. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Cheek for his induction into the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame and being selected as the 2013 Ford C. Frick Award recipient. Fans are encouraged to send in their favorite Tom Cheek memory or moment to bluejays.com/Tom Cheek. These memories, moments, stories, and wishes will be shared with the Cheek family in early August. And tomorrow night, the Cheek family will be in attendance at Rogers Center to acknowledge Tom's induction into the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. Jeff Cheek, Tom's youngest son, delivered a very emotional speech in the induction ceremonies in St. Mary's, Ontario. Brian Pena, the catcher, starts things off here in the 5th. Blue Jays love to see those crooked numbers on the scoreboard, and they have really pounded the baseball here at Rogers Center. In their last 15 home games, they've gone 11-4 and averaged 6.5 runs per game.
They have one of the best, or the best, record here at home since the beginning of May. Hitting has a lot to do with it, but they've been pitching the ball really well.
Pena reaches out and pokes the ball to short. Reyes quickly in time to get Brian Pena. One down. Well, let's take a look at the first half for the Blue Jays, and you can see the first 31 games, they were really off to a slow start. Just 10 wins, and the last 50, quite a bit different story.
Better pitching, there it is, 376 earned run average, scoring more runs, hitting better with runners in scoring position. And since May the 5th, only the A's and Braves have a better home record than the Blue Jays.
Nothing like home cooking, and the Blue Jays swept their last home stand, 6 straight against Colorado and Baltimore. Austin Jackson drives it over Bautista's head, and that's going to bounce over the fence out of play for a ground rule double.
One thing about this ballpark, the ball really carries, and I think Bautista was fooled somewhat on this ball, how hard he hit it and how far it went. No chance for Jose to pick that one up. It bounces out, but the ball can carry here, especially on days like today.
Jackson's 10th double of the season. Second ground rule double that the Tigers have hit. Infante hit a ground rule double in the 4th. Torrey Hunter bounces it foul. Tigers have 3 doubles and a home run. 4 of their 5 hits have gone for extra bases. That's the kind of thunder they have in their lineup.
Never out of it. That's why you have to keep adding on like they did. The Blue Jays did last inning.
Miguel Cabrera is on deck. Torrey Hunter is in the hole 0-2. Dickey threw a fastball and surprised Hunter.
I think he feels pretty good today. That fastball was 82 miles an hour. And I'm telling you, you have to mix it in every now and then. You just can't keep throwing the same pitch up there, even though it is a knuckleball.
Hunter strikes out. 4th strikeout of the afternoon for Dickey.
The 2013 Honda Civic, Canada's best-selling car 15 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Happy Canada Day, everybody. Canada Day at Rogers Center is presented by Honda. 2 outs, Miguel Cabrera checks his swing, and the appeal to first base umpire Alan Porter is denied. Cabrera has grounded out and struck out in 2 at-bats. You just wonder what kind of impact facing Dickey will have on the Tiger hitters throughout the rest of this series.
Hopefully positive for the Blue Jays.
Cabrera pops it up into shallow left. Reyes drifting out from shortstop. Out in left and stays with it. Makes a nice catch. So Cabrera is 0 for 3 so far. The Blue Jays have an 8-2 lead. J.P. Arancibia, his last time up, had a 2-run single. Meiser Asturis, a sac fly. Then the catcher, Josh Tolley. Lots of fun on Canada Day. Blue Jays have scored 8 runs on 8 hits. They've hit 2 home runs, and the fans are having a great time out in the 200 level outfield section. Sold out, Rogers Center. J.P. Aronsevier had a nice at bat his last time up. Had the bases loaded and drove a ball through left side of the infield to drive home 2.
Shortened up his swing just a little bit. Got the ball into the outfield. A couple of RBIs. He's now at 38.
Fastball on the outside corner. This crowd at Rogers Center was all excited before the gates ever opened. There were festivities outside, a lot of activities, of course, to celebrate Canada's 146th birthday. Outside. Always great on Canada Day. Blue Jays record on Canada Day, just 11-23. They'd like to turn that around today.
They're off to a good start. Halfway through, they got a 6-run lead.
Aronsevier called out. Fastball on the outside corner, 1 down. Well, after a slow start, the Blue Jays have clawed their way back to respectability. What will it take to make the team a contender again? We'll tell you in this week's Sportsnet magazine. Subscribe now at sportsnet.ca/magazine. You got to buy the magazine just to get the cover. Munenori Kawasaki with his teammates on the cover of this week's magazine.
That is a good-looking cover right there. Get it, get him to sign it, write something in Japanese, and then frame it. Which would be worth some money.
Meiser Asturis pulls it to first. Prince Fielder steps on the bag, 2 outs. Prince Fielder has a home run this afternoon, his 14th of the season, and there's that magazine cover. Munenori Kawasaki, very popular with his teammates and a huge fan favorite.
They went crazy today when he was announced in the starting lineup, the fans.
How about Kawasaki when he walked into the clubhouse at Fenway Park? He walked into a very small, jam-packed clubhouse and announced, "I'm back."
That didn't take long, did it? 48 hours he was gone, and then right back. His teammates love him.
Josh Thole, the catcher, with a 1-1 count. Blue Jays are playing with a short bench, obviously. Lynn, Bonifacio, and Encarnacion. And Linden and Encarnacion are questionable whether or not they can play today. Bounced in the dirt. John Gibbons told us earlier this morning that he's concerned Melky Cabrera's on the DL, but he said, I don't know how long we can go with the 3-man bench. Certainly it's going to catch up to you, but he's reluctant to give up any of his 8-man bullpen.
Yeah, he loves his bullpen. The easy answer is go to a 28-man roster, but that's not going to happen.
There you see the 3-man bench, Lind, Bonifacio, Encarnacion in the 8-man bullpen. 4 lefties, 4 righties, and boy, have they become a unit. This is popped up playable for the third baseman, Miguel Cabrera, in foul ground. The inning is over. Blue Jays have an 8-2 lead. We're going to the top of the 6th. Here comes the Home Hardware Cleanup Crew, brought to you by Natura. Home Hardware's exclusive line of safe, environmentally friendly cleaning products. FIFA Under 20 World Cup. You can catch the round of 16 live coverage on Sportsnet World tomorrow as Spain takes on Mexico at 11 a.m. Eastern. Visit sportsnet.ca/world for details on how to subscribe. Of course, Sportsnet World had the great Brazil-Spain soccer match, and Brazil beat them handily. Prince Fielder with another home run cut, swings right through it.
I think he's made up his mind. He is not going to get cheated this afternoon. Once he recognizes that knuckleball, he's swinging hard.
Oh, and 2. Well, Dickey's always got the upper hand when the hitters are swinging freely. We have seen early, and early was not a great barometer because he wasn't throwing a great knuckleball, but early on, Baltimore, Boston really took the patient approach against him, and that was a real challenge for him.
Yeah, hardly any strides. They're really waiting a long time to start their swing, cutting it down and just trying to get on base. And you're right, Dickey didn't have the command that he's had over the last 3 or 4 starts.
Prince Fielder has really dug in at the plate. He had a great at bat last time up, fouled off several pitches before connecting for his home run. Dickey takes the comebacker. Easy play for R.A. 1 down.
Disney's The Lone Ranger, starring Johnny Depp and Armie Hammer. See it in theaters Wednesday.
1 out. Victor Martinez has gone 1 for 2. He doubled and scored in the 4th. Dickey sneaks the fastball in there for a strike. He's got a good feel for when the Tiger hitters are taking and when they're swinging. He and Tolley are working well together.
Slipped in a fastball every now and then just to keep that fresh in their mind, and then go to work with that knuckleball.
Martinez stays alive. Victor Martinez missed the entire season a year ago after knee surgery. Came into this season as a career .303 hitter. And he's one of the best hitting catchers we've seen over the last several seasons.
Yep. And that's about 70 points lower he's hitting right now than that career average. And Tigers just waiting for Victor to heat up.
Got to keep those drinks cold. One and 2. On the ground, Kawasaki lays back and throws out Martinez. 2 down, top of the 6th. Shortstop Johnny Peralta steps in with 2 outs. Peralta is now 31 years old. Started his big league career in Cleveland. Drives this ball to right. Bautista coast back, makes the catch. The inning is over. Tigers go quietly in their half of the 6th. The Blue Jays have a 6-run lead. this season on Sportsnet, live on your smartphone. Visit RogersAnyPlaceTV.com/sports to get started.
See the crowd? They announce Kawasaki leading off the 6th inning, and they go crazy. They recognize hard work and intensity.
He goes after the first pitch and hits it to center. Austin Jackson got a late break, but he's got the speed to make the catch. Kawasaki's retired. Luke Putkonen in relief of the starter Jose Alvarez. And Jose Reyes, the leadoff man, has homered in 3 trips to the plate this afternoon. It's a strike. Off-fielder's glove. Reyes is safe at first, and he'll stop there. Fielder got a glove on it, but he couldn't make a play on it. Reyes has his 2nd hit of the afternoon.
He's just an exciting player. Jose Reyes, power from the right side, switch hitter. Now he turns on a pitch from Putkonen. And if Fielder doesn't get a glove on this ball, it's down in the corner, and probably 3. The way Reyes can run. Infante does a good job recognizing that ball in short right field. Hustles over there. Keeps Reyes at first base.
Rajai Davis already 2 for 3. A couple of runs scored and 2 stolen bases. Well, I like this lineup. Reyes leading off, Davis ahead of Bautista.
Just so much speed, and you got to pick your spots. This really isn't a spot right here to run, I think, when you're up 8-2 in the 6th inning.
Just because of where they are in the lineup, or because of the score?
And the score, 8-2.
Hot shot, glove by Infante to Peralta, not in time at first. Ball was hit so hard it kind of rocked Infante back on his heels. He didn't get a lot on the throw to Peralta.
Well, he underhanded the ball and threw a changeup to Peralta. If he could have catch the ball and throw it overhand with a little bit more zip on it, that's the only way you're going to get Davis. Here's the underhand. It's like a changeup for Peralta, and you're not going to get Rajai Davis, not as well as he runs.
Much too deliberate from Infante, and Peralta didn't have much of a chance. Davis with 2 steals already. Two outs. Jose Bautista has been on base all 3 times he's come to the plate. He doubled in his first at bat, then he's walked twice, also scored a pair of runs.
And again, another situation. Just stay over there at first base and let Jose swing away. Maybe he can belt one out of here. Don't take the bat out of his hand.
Inside. Bautista for the month of June hit just .213, but he hit 7 home runs and drove in 21 runs. He only had 23 hits in the month and had 21 RBIs. Putkonen in his 3rd inning of relief.
He's got some good stuff. It's his 2nd trip to the major leagues this year with the Tigers. He was up earlier, went back down, and now an arm out of that bullpen.
Tigers have concerns in their bullpen. 1-2, 2 outs. Strike on the corner. Bautista is called out. The inning comes to an end. The Blue Jays leave a runner on. We'll move to the 7th. It's an 8-2 Blue Jays lead. TD Comfort Zone, our guest of TD. Great afternoon to be at the ballpark, and you got a terrific vantage point. And over in the Jays Care Community Clubhouse are members and guests of the Canadian Forces. Happy Canada Day to all. Great atmosphere here at Rogers Center, and Canada Day is presented by Honda. And a lot of Canadian Forces were on the field with that beautiful Canadian Maple Leaf flag during the national anthems, and it was spectacular.
How about the renditions of the national anthems? Those were pretty good.
Lieutenant Scotty Newlands, as he's done in the past with both the U.S. national anthem and the Canadian national anthem, and this place was rocking when he was finished. Omar Infante has had a good day. He had a ground rule double his last time up. He's also added a single. Average over 300 now.
Yeah, came into this game at 299, couple of knocks. Over 300.
R.A. Dickey trying to even his record at 8-8. If he does that, the Blue Jays will get back to 500. Even their record at 41-41. Blue Jay fans today got those beautiful red Canada Day baseball caps. Well, what a sight. Good to see Rogers Center jam-packed again.
Yeah, I love doing these games here on Canada Day. It's packed house. You can feel the energy here.
Omar Infante is 3 for 3. Leadoff single in the 7th. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. And if you can't be at Rogers Center, well, there's no seats left. Why not be out on Lake Ontario enjoying a great Canada Day weekend? Left fielder Andy Dirks makes a first pitch strike. Hopped up on the infield. Reyes, the shortstop, takes charge and makes the catch. Blue Jays at the start of play today. 8.5 games back in the American League East, and they had a 2-5 road trip through St. Petersburg to play the Rays and into Boston. They are still just 17-25 against the East, and they're going to have to improve that mark.
We're going to be out of the East for a little bit now. We got the Tigers, Minnesota, Cleveland, and then back to Baltimore right before the All-Star break. So they'll be out. They're going to have to do some winning heading into the break.
And at home, as we mentioned, they've been playing great. In their last 15 games, they have an 11-4 record. R.A. Dickey trying to make it 7 straight wins at home. And he falls behind the Tigers catcher, Brian Pena, 3-0. Three and one. Ball driven to left field. Rajay Davis with good speed gets over and runs it down in the alley. Infante retreats. The Blue Jays put together a great month of June. When you look at their record month of June, Blue Jays and Red Sox both won 17 games. Blue Jays had a better winning percentage at 17-9. Kansas City starting to make a move. Oakland had 16 wins, as did the Orioles.
You know, that's why it's so tough in the American League East. 5 teams, 3 of them from the East. It's tough to make up ground there. You see Edwin, and you mentioned the 6th straight here at home. Blue Jays had won 7 straight here since 2007. So that is something right there.
Munenori Kawasaki starting at second base today. You saw Edwin Encarnacion. He was initially in the lineup as the DH. He was scratched right before the start of the game. There's that slow knuckle ball, just 67 miles an hour.
And it just messes with your timing as a hitter. You've got the hard knuckleball in mind, and you start gearing up for that, and he changes speeds with it. Get you out in front. Sure, this is going to be his last inning. Dickey up over 100 pitches now. Still looks good to me. Stu Delabar got up right after that hit by Infante, and he's been loosening up.
This is driven into center. Colbert Asmus backs up a few steps. R.A. Dickey through 7 innings has a 6-run lead. It's 8-2 Blue Jays. Bottom of the 7th, Mark DeRosa homered his last time up, a 3-run shot. Then Colby Erasmus. J.P. Arancibia has driven in 2 today. It's a sold-out Rogers Center. Well, the Canada Day festivities presented by Honda, and everybody's had a great time, and the Blue Jays have. An 8-2 lead.
Well, we've all had a great time this afternoon. Fans, the ball club, everybody but Jim Leland. His team hasn't been playing that well.
Mark DeRosa homered his last time up. R.A. Dickey, 7 strong innings here this afternoon, and looks like he's getting the attaboy from the manager, John Gibbons.
Been pretty consistent with that. All right, now what is that, Buck?
What is that? I know what it is. It's an R.A. Dickey.
That's a Dickey with a number 43 on it. See, you're from the 60s.
And there's an R.A. Dickey. Dickey looking to even his record at 8-8. DeRosa drives another ball deep to right, but that's going to stay in the ballpark. Torrey Hunter makes the catch. Now it's time for Drive of the Game, brought to you by the 2013 Honda CR-V and IIHS top safety pick. Honda is the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Easy one this afternoon. Mark DeRosa with a long drive to right field on a fastball with a couple of runners on base. He will hit his 5th home run of the season, driving 3 runs. He now has more RBIs than hits this year. That's his 23rd hit of the season, his 24th RBI.
Colby Rasmus goes after that first pitch splitter. DeRosa with a start at first base, delivered a big blow in the 4th. Colby Rasmus walked in the 3rd inning and scored on the sac fly by Meiser Asturias. Rasmus strikes out for a 3rd time. That's 2 down here in the 7th.
Tigers might want to consider putting this guy in the starting rotation the way he has thrown this afternoon. He's got some good stuff.
This is his 4th inning of relief since coming in back in the 4th.
This is the spot for the Tigers. Anibal Sanchez, who's going to go out on a rehab start, I think today.
Yeah, I think he's pitching tonight, later on tonight. He'll make a rehab start, and then they'll evaluate the next step for Sanchez.
He was pitching so well when he got hurt. Tigers have some horses in their starting rotation.
Well, their starters are terrific. They're tough. They pitch deep into ball games. They rack up the strikeouts. They don't give up many home runs.
I got the best ERA for starters in the American League, 3.66. We'll see Scherzer, we'll see Pfister, and we'll see Verlander the next 3 days.
Two to Aaron Sevilla. Verlander, it'll be interesting. He's going to pitch on Thursday. That'll be the first start for Verlander at Rogers Center since he threw that no-hitter in 2011. Aaron Sevilla strikes out for a 3rd time. All 3 times he was called out. Putkkonen retires the side in the 7th. We'll go to the 8th. And one lucky fan won a 2013 Honda Civic. Congratulations, and what a great day at the ballpark. A proud new owner of a 2013 Honda. New pitcher for the Blue Jays will be the big right-hander, Steve Delabar.
Last worked a couple of days ago in Boston. Picked up his 5th win of the season. In that game, 4 strikeouts, and he faced 7 batters. You can see the strikeout percentage, 12 per 9 innings. A great strikeout to walk ratio. He's got a great fastball splitter and a little bit of a slider that he's starting to incorporate.
2, 3, and 4 in the Tigers lineup. Torrey Hunter takes the first pitch strike. Great Canada Day here at Rogers Center. It's presented by Honda, and the packed house crowd has been entertained by a good ball game. Hunter behind 0-2. 45,766 in attendance. That's the 5th sellout of the season.
Wow.
Bring it. Delabar strikes out Hunter. Delabar on in relief of R.A. Dickey. And Dickey was good this afternoon. Dickey goes 7 innings. Gives up just 6 hits, 2 earned runs. Walked a batter and struck out 4, and he had it working again today. So it's back-to-back consecutive good starts by Dickey. And he is in line to even his record at 8-8.
5th time that he has thrown at least 7 innings this year, and you're right. Put the back-to-back good outings. And that's going to be a good feeling if you're John Gibbons.
But here's the adjustment. It's interesting. After you face R.A. Dickey for 3 at-bats, then you got to try to catch up to Delabar's heater. And if anybody can do it, it's this guy.
Yeah.
But Miguel Cabrera has gone 0 for 3. He grounded out to short, struck out, and popped up.
He has become, and he is, just a good 2-strike breaking ball hitter, Cabrera. So that's why you got to go up there. When you throw as hard as Steve Delabar does, you got to use your fastball.
And he does. Cabrera strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Delabar in the 8th.
The 2013 Honda Civic, Canada's best-selling car 15 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Another strike from Delabar.
8 pitches, 7 strikes.
Prince Fielder is got 1 for 3 with his 14th home run of the season.
How dominant has Steve Delabar been lately? Last 6 batters that he has faced, he struck them out. I mean, that's what you need in the 8th inning. Guy comes in and just dominates, racks up the strikeouts.
Get the head out, Prince. Prince hit it into the 4th deck. Shot, bounced back down into the 2nd deck, and he was looking fastball.
And got one and turned on it.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Miguel Cabrera is 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Just the 13th time this season he's gone hitless. Steve Delamar strikes out the side in the 8th. The Blue Jays have an 8-2 lead. Now time for Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. By Bacardi Oakart, smooth, spiced rum. Bacardi is a proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, you don't see this very often in the major leagues. A runner at second base on the throw back to the mound, the guy take off. That's just heads-up base running by Rajai Davis, recognizing that the catcher lobbing it back to the pitcher. And Rajai picks up 90 feet right there, and he would score later in the inning.
Rajai Davis has been on base 3 times this afternoon. He has a double and a single. He's scored 2 runs and has 2 stolen bases. He is a catalyst, boy. When he gets on base, he makes things happen. New pitcher for the Tigers is the lefty, Darren Downs.
This is Downs, a lefty, 480 earned run average with an 0-2 record. A little bit higher whip than you would like to see from a left-hander. Doesn't overpower you. Got a good breaking ball. He's polished pitcher. Sinking fastball, tops out about 88, 89 miles an hour, but he keeps hitters off balance.
Bottom third of the Blue Jays lineup to face Downs here in the 8th. Meiser Esteuris takes the ball. Esteuris singled and scored in the 2nd, had a sac fly in the 3rd, and grounded out to the first baseman in the 5th. 2-0. The young fans are in attendance as well. Beautiful Canada Day weekend. Wrapping up here on Canada Day Monday. Sold out crowd, 45,766, the 5th sellout of the season. Downs delivers a strike. Leadoff walk for Esteuris. Well, the Blue Jays have had a little bit of everything on offense. They've hit 2 home runs, Reyes and DeRosa. Davis has had a couple of stolen bases. They've had walks. They've had key hits, one by Aaron Sebia in the 3rd, a bases loaded 2-run single.
Another game with multi-home runs. That's 36 of them now for the Blue Jays, which leads Major League Baseball. 36 games with 2 or more home runs. But you're right, they've done other things. They have flashed some speed with Rajai stealing a couple bases. They've come up with some clutch hits. And they've got great pitching.
Mark DeRosa with a big 3-run home run in the 4th, which is 5th home run of the season.
And they have needed it because of the short bench this afternoon.
Tolle hits a high fly ball to center. Austin Jackson makes the catch. Jose Reyes with home runs in his last 2 ball games, both coming as a right-handed hitter. The fans love Kawasaki. He started the scoring for the Jays with a 2-out single in the 2nd inning.
They're chanting for him now too. Boy, he is such a fan favorite.
Last game against the Orioles on Sunday afternoon before they went on the road, he got a standing ovation for a sacrifice bunt. He can do no wrong.
He plays hard. He's got a great personality. Fans pick up on that with players that are just honest guys that go out there and play the game the right way.
Kawasaki behind 0-2. Line drive to left, but Dirks was playing shallow and makes the grab. Historis stays put at first.
It doesn't hurt to have a great personality like Kawasaki did. He went up and picked up his own bat. Said, I don't need the bat, boy. I'll do it myself.
Leadoff man Jose Reyes here has gone 2 for 4 this afternoon. Make it 3 for 5. The Jose's are getting hot. Bautista and Reyes.
Good sign for the Blue Jays. Bad for the opposition. Fastball right down the middle, cuts it. And Reyes is waiting for it. That's how you get the good wood of the bat on the baseball on a pitch that's coming into you. Pull your hands in and just keep that barrel going right through the strike zone.
The Tigers are losers of 5 of their last 6. They lost 2 of 3 to the Rays in St. Pete. They will play 4 here against the Blue Jays and then go to Cleveland for 4 more.
Cleveland just tied them in the Central Division with the win yesterday.
Fly ball into center field. Austin Jackson comes in. Davis is retired. We'll go to the 9th. It's a big day here for us at Sportsnet. It's the debut of Sportsnet 360, where you can check out a new post-game show called Blue Jays Extra. For more on that, here's Eric Smith. It'll be connected on East, Ontario, West, and Pacific, and Sportsnet 360 with Blue Jays Express. So make sure you check it out. Eric Smith, Paul Spaljeric, and Greg O'Halloran right after the ball game.
They were just talking about Rajai Davis and the playing time that he is getting. Plays good defense, too, in left field. Really helping out the pitching staff. Third pitcher of the afternoon for the Blue Jays now, Aaron Loup for the 34th time. 3-3 record, ERA under 2. The left-hander getting some work. Look at the strikeout to walk ratio, 29-5. He's had a good year.
So Aaron Loup into the ball game. Steve Delabar, all he did was strike out the side in the 8th. Not only did he strike out the side, but it was Torrey Hunter, Miguel Cabrera, and Prince Fielder.
Hey, let's go back just a little bit. I looked that up. That's 7 straight strikeouts now for Steve Delabar. And it's David Ortiz, Mike Napoli, Nava, Saltalamacchia, and the 3 guys you just mentioned. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think he's gaining confidence in his fastball, and Delabar has really benefited from the presence of Casey Janssen, Darren Oliver, and Pat Henkin down in the bullpen. Aaron Loup with a 1-1 pitch to Victor Martinez. Inside. Tigers DH has got 1 for 3. He doubled and scored in the 4th. Hit a double down into the right field corner of R.A. Dickey in that 4th inning. Tigers scored their only runs in the 4th. The bullpen has been exceptional. Turned into a real strength of this ball club. Oliver, the veteran. They have 4 left-handers down there that anybody in baseball would like to have on their staff. Luke jams Martinez, takes the comebacker. 1 down. Now it's time for a preview of what's coming up on Connected. Here's Hazel May. Aaron Loup retires the first man he's faced here in the ninth. Johnny Peralta lifts it high down the right side. That'll reach the seats out of play.
He got all in the kitchen of Victor Martinez right there. And that's one of the things that Aaron can do. He can crossfire that fastball right in to the right-handers. Hitting just 250 against them. You were talking about the bullpen and how well they've pitched. They are now second in the American League in relief ERA. It's now under 3.
And they're racking up the strikeouts like crazy. Steve Delabar now has 57 strikeouts. That's the most in the American League for a relief pitcher.
And John Gibbons was telling us before the ball game, he said, I really like our bullpen right now. I like the depth. I like the ability to stretch them out and to pitch them with proper rest. And when they get proper rest, they can put up some big numbers. Hunter Wendelstedt looked like he might have caught this breaking ball in the dirt. Josh Tolley goes down, tries to block it.
Hit him right in the middle of the chest protector, it appeared. Caught him by surprise. So Tolley giving a home plate umpire a little bit of a break. Chance to regroup here. We are in the top of the ninth. The Blue Jays have an 8-2 lead in the first of 4 games against the Tigers. Tiger fans don't stand much of a chance here this afternoon. Peralta strikes out. 2 down.
Another strikeout for the bullpen. Delabar got 3, and now Loup gets his first.
Omar Infante's had a perfect day at the plate. 2 singles and a double. Rasmus on the run, deep into center, looking up. Infante, a 4-for-4 day, capped off by a home run to center. His 6th home run of the season. He's had a big day.
Yeah, just a triple shy of the cycle. Got a nice approach at the plate. Upped his hitting streak to 5 games. It's his 6th home run. First pitch all over the fastball.
It's a 4th home run allowed by Aaron Loup this season. Avisail Garcia is the pinch hitter batting for Andy Dirks.
This is the young man that we showed earlier with Miguel Cabrera. And he looks a little bit like Cabrera standing at the plate.
Fouls it back. Ball and a strike. Garcia came up from Double-A last year, played in the latter stages of the season, hit .319 in just 23 games. Goes after the changeup, and the Tigers are down to their final strike.
This afternoon on Canada Day, it's R.A. Dickey with 7 good innings and 2 big outbursts by the offense. Jose Reyes with a big day, 3 hits, 7 runs in 2 innings. Big blow, Mark DeRosa's 3-run home run. Blue Jays look good today.
Blue Jays bullpen had 5 strikeouts in 2 innings of work. They win the first of 4. Reyes with another home run. Coming up on East Ontario, Western Pacific, it's Connected. While over on Sportsnet 360, it's the debut of Blue Jays Express. Go check it out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night.